Hey, hey, hey. Let's. Hey, man, it's Virtual Dre back in the building, man. Hold on. Let's hope my internet wants to align with what's going on, what we're talking about this morning, noon, and night. Whenever you listen to hearing this, I'm Retro Dre, man. Before we all the way get to it, I appreciate you all being here. I have a few topics of discussion at hand, so don't mind me. But in other news, I appreciate you all being involved in this. Hopefully, my internet lasts to the test of time to become and be unced to what is about to happen today for a quick moment in time of your life. However, let's get to the topic of the video first, man. But as always, abuse the like button because that's how we grow and evolve and develop the channel. That's how we do that. But first and foremost, man, my opinions on hip hop doesn't have a culture. Hip hop culture does not exist. Why does, in my opinion, do I have this opinion? Because it's a fact. It may have been at one point in time, but at this current moment in time, and maybe for a while now, hip hop culture is not a real thing. It's no values, it's no structure, it's no codes of conduct, it's no system. It's just a lot going on, a lot of chaos going on, a lot of reckoning, a lot of stuff that happens in the hip hop that out for the races, out for anybody to do, anybody want, no values. The older generation isn't respected, younger generation isn't respected, knowledge isn't being passed down, codes of ethics aren't being passed down. Whole lot of things going on, and it's sad. But I say that it is what it is though, because you can only do what the people have done before you and carry it on to better heights for yourself and your future. Now, with that being said, you have to look at that for yourself. Do you know your own culture, where you come from yourself? That's the bigger question. Because we can all say, oh, hip hop is culture. It has all these values. It brings people together. Does it really? Does it really? In what ways do people come together? Is it a good way or is it a bad way? If we're going to speak about it, we have to speak about it honestly. So there's something to think about. We can all say, oh man, hip hop has done great things, but it also has done bad things too. So it's two sides to every coin. You can't just own the good stuff without the bad when you're talking about culture and history of what has happened. You have to put both in there because if you don't put all sides in there, then there's no balance. Then if there's no balance, then nothing good will come from this. And people won't have the proper view and perspective on the topic at hand because of why what is said is being said because of what's happening. And you may say it's unfortunate and true, but that's just how it is. When you don't have people that's properly giving the proper knowledge and game, so to speak, on what has happened before and how they carry it on for the future, it doesn't get passed on and carried on the right way. People may say, "Hey, why is so much hatred in hip hop? Why is there so much bad things happening in hip hop?" Because there's a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding, lack of wanting to understand. But also, it's possible that there's a section of people who want help in the answers, but they're not getting them. So they look to other means by doing it themselves, and then once people complain and want to offer a helping hand, then it doesn't end up happening. And it's unfortunate, but I have to just keep going back to this point. It is what it is. You may like it or dislike it, but that's just how it is. Only way you could help it is you're doing your due diligence to pay it forward and give the knowledge that you have on the topic or subject at hand. But the most important thing is to know what's good and right for yourself. Because if you don't know that, then what are you really? You're just going to support something that doesn't support you back. And you don't even know the means and the history of it for real. So, what can you honestly gain from this when you don't know everything that's going on and what you're supporting or doing? That's probably another reason why certain artists may not develop after a certain point because they haven't studied the craft yet. They haven't done enough digging into what makes records great, what made this artist carry on for so long with so many hit records with barely doing any hooks. what people were around the circle were there enough that were actually providing the proper knowledge, not being a yes man. You know, just something to think about. Just something I had on my mind today. My name's Retro Dre. I make beats. I make raps. I do a lot of cool stuff. Mostly media creator. That's what I am. That's what I do. Until next time, just something to think about. Know yourself, and that's all. In the morning, noon, and night, whenever you're listening and hearing this, like the video because you become greater once you do. And until next time, my name is Retro Dre. Deuces. I'm out of here. Hip hop culture doesn't exist. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. Maybe at one point in time, but not at this moment.